Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show to talk about some NASCAR news. It's kind of an impromptu one. Wasn't really planning on doing one today, but Steve Phelps and Steve O'Donnell had their annual end of the year news conference, State of the Sport address or whatever. Two clowns who have no place in the sport, have no clue what they're doing. So, how do we start off here? I think there's like a thread. The State of the Sport News Conference. Steve Phelps, he opens his news conference by justifying the drivers who made the championship race and listing why, full stop. All of our drivers know the format. They deserve to be here. So, unintentionally admitted the format is, shit there, Steve. They can make any format imaginable and argue that the drivers that make it that far in the format deserve to be there. It doesn't make it a good format. The format sucks. I mean, you can get the best drivers normally don't make the championship. I mean, don't even win it. Hell, even get there at this point with this format. It's what they want. All of them? Joe Logano 15th in points deserves to be in the Final Four? No, Steve. He was eliminated in the round of 8, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, all of them know the format. Yeah, you're basically admitting your format sucks. So now we talk about the attendance. Steve Phelps talked about the attendance next. He says NASCAR has made small gains, single-digit gains on attendance, but wants to see more. Said they had double-digit races sold out this season. TV ratings. Phelps says they took a ratings bath on the Clash, moved up a day. Daytona 500 postponed. Coke 600 range shortened. And Chicago Street Race late. They were in a negative 27% hole after the 500 and still ended up positive for the year. The sport is resilient and the sport is growing. No. I don't think it's a growing sport, Steve. Actually, the 600 was humidity shortened there, Steve. Fix that for you. And that's basically them saying, we like what we see and ain't changing a damn thing. Are they satisfied with small gains in attendance? If I was a sport, I don't think I would be satisfied with small gains on attendance. I would want nearly every race sold out. But hey, they like what they see. That's what they say every year. They like what we like what we see. So next thing, talk about the charters. We don't believe the media is a place to have discussions about negotiations with our race teams. We are not going to negotiate in the media about charters ever. We are very happy 32 of our 36 charters were extended. He says he will not be taking any questions about charters today. We are in active litigation, and that matter is closed at least for this point. Oh my god. Boy, I would feel more confident that they weren't rat fucking us or rat fucking the teams if they were private with these negotiations. It's basically, we don't care about being transparent with our fans. And Steve Phelps says in 2025, says everyone will see tremendous promotional support for NASCAR on a level we've never seen before due to all new media partners. Will we, Steve? I don't think we're going to see that much Will we see tremendous promotional support? Can't trust anybody in fucking NASCAR management. So now, Steve O'Donnell now. He praises the next-gen car as a huge positive for the sport. Among the stats cited, 18 different winners among 10 different organizations. 3 of 7 closest finishes in history this year. Yeah, you have close finishes, but most of the races suck. Just sorry, Steve. Being honest. Just because, the close finishes doesn't mean the races were that good. And he says the next gen car is going to be a tough challenge. The performance for that car, with the diversity of tracks we have throughout the schedule, that allows us to have the best drivers in the world competing on a variety of different racetracks. O'Donnell says there is no harder sport to officiate. And this is where it kind of gets me a bit pissed off here. It says there's no harder sport to officiate. We don't always get those calls right, but for the most part we do. Basically saying we don't care if we get all the calls right. There's no harder sport to officiate. Yeah, right. My God. So these are just factually just incorrect statements. The racing is objectively worse than it's ever been. And they don't want anyone to dominate races. Is it boring sometimes? Yes. They want to hold back the drivers with the most talent and allow more drivers to win. When it's really the same drivers still winning most weeks. It's just they're not dominating. It's backwards thinking when everyone is doing the same thing. There's, like, really, you don't see the stars of the sport. I just wish we had honest leaders. There's no way these people can believe this crap. So delusional. Yeah, I can't wait for Phoenix to be trashed this week. Now the next thing, so a complete answer from Steve Phelps and Steve O'Donnell when Jeff Gluck asked why the platform has the best way for NASCAR to determine a champion. The format is the format, right? Steve Phelps said, and we are always looking at the opportunities for us to tweak something, so we're not the only sport where the best statistical team does not get to the Final Four of the Super Bowl or the World Series. Don't know why we're comparing NASCAR to football, baseball, and basketball. And the best team in the World Series, my Dodgers won, by the way, so that debunks that point. Now, there was a huge emphasis put 10 years ago when the format was put into place about winning, right? The three of the four on Sunday, they want to get through. The format itself, I think, creates incredible racing. Incredible racing? Yeah, I don't see incredible racing week to week. So if we're all going to be honest and say, hey, how's the racing been during the playoffs in these 9 weeks? I don't think it's been ever better. Okay, man. I think part of that is due to the system itself. They raced their guts out. Tyler Reddick 2 weeks ago, Ryan Blaney last week, Chase Elliott trying again, Larson trying again, racing their guts out. I think it provides great racing for our race fans. Yeah, the racing was good, but that's one race out of how many this year that were good? And now Steve O'Donnell's response. The format is one thing, right? But playoffs, we're not going to go away from the playoffs. So we read fans and everything. So he basically told you, they read the comments. They don't care. That's basically what they're telling you. As we always do. We'll absolutely look at what form playoffs take in the off season. You always learn, like I said, but playoffs in and off itself. As Steve said, you cannot argue with the quality of racing in the playoffs. This broken sport, brain dead management, delusion, embarrassing. Dude, this is not the best. Yes, we would get quality racing without the playoffs with none of the downside. I'm so tired of these basketball, football, baseball comparisons. They're different. All these teams don't play each other every week. Like, these guys are so out of touch. Tired of them comparing motorsports to stick and ball sports. Like, so Steve O'Donnell said he was pissed off at what happened in Martinsville. Oh, were you, Steve? Then why didn't he do anything about it, Steve O'Donnell? Yet they let the drivers who benefited off of it, they just let the drivers that benefited off of it off the hook. Besides Christopher Bale. And, with the race manipulation, and had a call at the manufacturers this week in which was strongly expressed. O'Donnell said NASCAR will 1000% will have a rule next year in which they can penalize manufacturers if they didn't suspend the drivers involved because they gave them the benefit of the doubt since the drivers were told what to do, but drivers should consider that a warning. So then ask about the officiating controversy. O'Donnell reiterates every sport has officiating questions throughout the year, and they'll continue to look at technology that can help make calls more consistent. O'Donnell says, I don't believe we have an officiating issue at all. I think we have the best and the brightest in the business. Yes, we make mistakes, they're humans. They're just so out of touch. I mean, from what I can gather, O'Donnell is delusional to say they don't even have an officiating issue. They do. They hardly get the calls right 90% of the time. Hey, maybe Steve should run as a politician. Lie about everything, gaslight the fan base, fail to take responsibility. This feels like what I'm reading. They have some of the worst. They have the worst officiating. That's saying a lot. Because sometimes basketball officiating is terrible. Like, my God. So, Steve O'Donnell talks about Phoenix hosting the championship. He says it's very difficult to replicate what we see this weekend. The atmosphere, what goes into it, the crowd that shows up consistently. Says they'll be looking at the attendance for the Homestead race in March to see if it's improved because that matters, because they could go there in 2026 for the championship. He also mentioned Darlington, Charlotte, and Vegas as other possible venues for the championship race. I mean, it's not really fair to compare attendance of a race in March to what they get for the championship, but okay, Steve. Yeah, it's not really fair to compare a race attendance in March to what you get for the championship. More people would go to the championship race. And Phoenix just puts on a terrible show. I'm sure the facilities are great, but the on-track product is terrible. And Homestead delivered a banger. And you'd want Phoenix over this crap? Yeah, I think that's all from the State of the Sport address. I'm pretty sure. So on the lawsuit update with 2311 and Front Row Motorsports, the judge denied the preliminary injunction for 2311 and Front Row Motorsports to run as chartered teams pursue the lawsuit. At the time, plaintiffs have not met their burden as required for a preliminary injunction. Should circumstances change, plaintiffs may file a renewed motion for a preliminary injunction. This is just a joke. How much is NASCAR paying this judge? How much? I bet they paid him a lot of money. Judge must be a fan of this playoff system. Why would anyone want to invest their money as a team owner on this sport? Is beyond me. I hope Reddick sticks it to NASCAR and wins the damn championship this week. But NASCAR's going to find a way to screw him over. And then the judge indicated the teams could not show definitively that they will suffer irreparable, how do you say that word, harm. I mean, they're going to lose this just because the NASCAR probably will pay off the fucking judge. So what happens next? What expect an appeal with the decision? Things will probably move forward with them running open cars next year. But the teams risk having a lawsuit thrown out unless they can prove the release of claims clause in the open agreement. And pretty much the judge said the team's argument that they might lose sponsors and might lose drivers and might not survive as an open team is not enough for a preliminary injunction. That they had to show that they would. That's pretty much saying we know it will happen, but it has to happen first. That's why this shit sucks. So I guess they're going to have to run as an open team, and they will fast track the lawsuit to have it proceed as quick as possible. If really you say at this stage the teams are no closer to the long word harm than they are to the command. Drivers, start your engines the first race of the 2025 season. Yeah, this judge is definitely paid off by NASCAR. How much did you get paid there? But yeah, it's really all I gotta say for this video. So till next time, act like peace. And I'll see you for the truck championship race tonight. So yeah, peace.